Threats.
Slap him in the face, you know.
Mate, if I got what it takes.
Anger.
Don't, sir, don't.
Desperation.
Dad, I need to find £2,000 within 5 minutes.
What happens when debt
I'm not even paying a penny of it.
tracks you down?
Don't open the gates, mate. We'll force entry.
Up and down the UK,
Somebody come to the door, please.
we see Britain's most resilient High Court enforcement agents dealing with every debtor's worst nightmare.
It's not a wake-up call most people want.
Because if you can't pay,
Doesn't have a penny, doesn't own anything.
they'll take it away. Pubs across the UK are facing increasing financial pressures. Rising costs have forced 25,000 pubs to close down over the last 40 years. Recent research reveals that more than 70% of pubs have poor credit ratings, and more than a third have been asked to make large upfront payments for their energy supply. Gary Brown and Paul Bowhill are High Court enforcement agents. Today they're in Deal, Kent, with a writ to recover a debt for unpaid utility bills.
So our next address then is a pub called The Sportsman. The limited company running it is called Village Ales Limited.
It's lunchtime, and the agents are hoping to find the company's directors at the pub.
Opened an hour and a half ago, so there's probably going to be some customers there. But they owe £2,582.37. I imagine this is going to be the most excitement this village has seen for the last 50 years. Is that it?
If the directors can't or won't pay today, the writ instructs the agents to remove assets belonging to the company to cover the debt.
Hello. Hello. Is there someone we can speak to who are part of the company, the Village Ales Limited, please?
They're not here anymore.
Aren't they?
They're not here.
Oh. How long have they been gone?
October.
Really?
Yes.
And who's here now?
Me. I own the building.
Do you really?
Yes.
Okay.
What do you need?
I just need something to show VAT registration, licence, employer's liability.
I live on the car park.
Okay, that's fine. We'll wait. We'll keep our hands in our pockets.
Okay. Step, please.
Thank you very much.
While the woman leaves to find the paperwork proving ownership, Gary turns detective and investigates the pub online.
This is a Sportsman pub in Kent. You've got Village Ales Limited named underneath. I found the two directors as well.
His paperwork includes a photo of the two directors, Jamie Coleman and Mark Holland.
Is that them, I take it? The two people? This could be mother of one of them.
Might be more of a connection than what she's leading us to believe. I'm just suspicious.
The woman returns with her paperwork.
That's me. That's my licence.
Okay.
My tax bill. Everything's in my name.
Janice Coleman.
Yeah.
She appears to share a surname with one of the directors.
Are you a family member of Jamie by any chance?
It was Mark Holland that was here before, trading as Village Ales, and I believe that they wound it up.
Their company's still active. Is
Nothing
Jamie
to do. Look,
Jamie a family member?
Yes, he is, but I'm nothing to do with Village Ales. It was Mark Holland.
Jamie is a director of that company as well.
That's nothing to do with me.
Right.
I rented it out to his father-in-law, Mark Holland. They weren't here long, and they left.
Is there a chance that if we spoke to Mark or Jamie, that they would just pay this?
Sort it out with them because it's nothing to do with me.
Could you get them on the phone?
I don't know Mark's phone.
And who is Jamie to you?
Right,
Janice, who is Jamie to you? Is he your son?
I don't know.
You're dodging around this question. You're dodging around
What I'm
answering
saying
it.
is,
Who is Jamie to
Mark
you?
Holland, he is my son, yes.
Thank you.
Now Gary has established Janice Coleman's relationship to the director, Jamie Coleman. Paul is keen to check who currently holds the pub licence.
That's the licence, okay?
It doesn't actually say Janice Coleman, it says J. Coleman.
Oh, well, it is me. If you ring them up and find out.
Janice, to me you seem a bit cagey when I asked you about Jamie.
Because he's nothing to do with me.
If Janice can't prove that the assets in the pub now belong to her, the agents have the right to remove them, putting her business at serious risk.
Where's the inventory for the contents of the pub? I mean, you must have rented.
yes, I
You must
have
have
got
rented.
one.
Could we see that, please?
Yeah, well, the trouble is it takes me time to go and
No,
get
that's
it,
okay.
find
That's
it.
all right.
I've got so much paperwork.
Could we see the inventory? Thank you.
Find it,
Okay. All right.
Before you go, Janice, can I take Jamie's phone number, please?
It's okay. I'll just go and get it. I'll put it on me. I'll go and get it, okay?
See how cagey she was when I put it to her about her son? She comes across as having something to hide
Oh,
because
totally.
of the way
I
that
agree.
she's
Well, just everything.
not dealing with the question.
From the
very
minute
well.
she walked back in here.
I'll snip out the back.
Janice's behaviour has made Gary suspicious.
You all right, mate? I've not seen you before. Can I take your name? What's your name, mate? My name is Gary Brown. I'm a High Court enforcement agent.
All right.
What's your name?
Get to my boss.
I just need to know your name, mate.
Gary checks the photograph of the company directors.
Jamie Coleman?
Yes, mate. Yeah.
Gary has found his man.
It's all unravelling now, isn't it?
The agents have tracked down one of the company's directors, Jamie Coleman. But if he can't pay the £2,500 owed, everything in the pub could be seized. Gary Brown and Paul Bowhill were in Deal, Kent, to recover a debt for unpaid utility bills owed by Village Ales Limited.
They're not here anymore.
The woman behind the bar told them she had taken over the pub and had nothing to do with the company. But Gary was suspicious. He decided to investigate
I'll snip out the back.
and discovered her son, Jamie, one of the company directors, hiding in the kitchen.
It's all unravelling now, isn't it?
Now, the agents want to question him about the company's debt.
We got a writ here from the electricity company for £2,582.37. Are you able to pay that, please?
No, I don't work. I have no money, nothing.
Can you tell us the history of Village Ales Limited?
Yeah, me and my other business partner were supposed to do it. We tried it. We went bust. That's the end goal.
Yeah, you can't just remove a company.
No, I know.
like that. It's either got to go into liquidation. You can't just cease
which
to.
is what they're looking at doing.
No, they're not, Jamie.
Yeah, we're still on there. I know that.
It's an active
All
company.
right, I have no money, so if you can arrest me and take me away, do that. I don't work. I have no money, nothing.
Okay, there's no need to get excited.
As Village Ales Limited is still trading, the agents can seize any assets in the pub that belong to the company to pay off the debt.
None of this property in this building belongs to me. I don't.
It's not you, the company.
No, the company owns nothing in this building. We took it on as it
Well,
was.
the mother's looking for the proof for that at the moment.
A few minutes later, Jamie's mother returns with more paperwork for the agents.
So what you're showing me here is...
That's the contract I had.
Right.
Okay? Which what I had when they took over. But they left and I took back in October.
The contract shows that Village Ales Limited took over the pub, but not that the business has passed back into Janice's hands.
There's nothing on this that tells me that Village Ales is no longer here.
Look, well, I was told they folded.
Well, they haven't folded.
Well, what am I supposed
You were
to
told.
do?
Well, Janice, the director is there. When you say you were told, he's there.
They told me that they folded the company.
The contents aren't mine, so what do you want from me? That's my question.
I'm asking you as the director of Village Ales Limited, can you arrange these funds
Not
to be
like
paid?
that. I have no money in the North Dale director.
Okay. Do you know anyone that can help?
Accommodation. It's Mark Holland on that list.
Yes, but Village
It's
Airs
not
Limited.
mine.
Calm down.
Can you get Mark Holland on the phone, please?
It's nothing to do
Can you
with
get
it.
Mark Holland on the phone? Why
I
not?
can't because I'm not willing to.
You're not willing to?
I
Gary,
can't because he's at work. I'm not going to disturb him at work.
Okay, well, I'm going to disturb your business by removing goods soon.
But that's not.
Because it's mine and it's on here. How can you take my stuff?
Well, you've shown me a tenancy agreement showing that they took over. You haven't shown me anything that they ceased the tenancy.
Calm down.
No, I'm honestly.
I know what you like.
I asked Jamie if he can ring Mark, and he said no, because I don't want to.
No, because it's mine. This is my doing.
Well, according to this, it's also Mark's.
Yeah, because I couldn't afford to pay the bills because you ripped us off with rent.
But with no sign of the debt being paid, Gary gives Jamie an ultimatum.
We've been here since 20 to 2. Jamie, you have until 2:30. If we just walk in and say, can you pay this? They're not going to pay it. They need the pressure to motivate them. They've got until 2:30, which is another 5 minutes, and then we're going to start removing goods.
Gary's deadline has now expired.
I'm going to start writing an inventory out of goods to be removed. I will leave you a list of that inventory. You have between now until the truck gets here to pay it.
John, it's at Pulbo Hill. We're at the Sportsman pub, the one we spoke to you about earlier. What we're looking at is we need a Luton van, ideally with a tail lift.
With the van ordered, Janice decides to bail out her son and settle the £2,500 debt in full.
If I pay it now, we can leave it alone and just go.
Yeah.
Right, here you go. See if it'll work. I've extended my credit.
The pressure has worked eventually. Mum is saying that she's going to pay it. It's probably the sensible way forward for them from a business point of view. It means that they get us out of their property and they can carry on trading. Okay, that's gone through. That's it. Thank you very much. Have a lovely day. Bye. All I want is the truth. So when they're being evasive and they're trying to hide behind limited company status, whether they're there or not there anymore, to avoid paying a debt, I've got no sympathy at all.
Research from a leading homelessness charity reveals that more than 2/3 of low-earning private renters in Britain are falling into rent arrears. Last year, average rents rose by more than a quarter since the beginning of the decade, forcing 500,000 low earners to borrow money to cover their costs. Croxteth, Liverpool. High Court enforcement agents Stuart McCracken and Elmore Victor have a writ to evict tenant Michelle Mayher. Michelle hasn't paid any rent to her landlord for 10 months, and she must leave today.
Vic, it's raining, it's cold, it's wet, it's Croxteth.
But this is no ordinary eviction. As well as repossessing the property, the agents have another writ to recover the outstanding rent from the tenant.
How much do they owe us?
£4,163. Interesting.
If Michelle can't or won't pay, she's at risk of losing her possessions as well as her home.
Let's go. Have a chat. So am I collecting the £4,000 and you doing the possession?
No, we're doing it together. But might as well be a reason.
Hello? Hello? Can somebody come to the door, please? We're High Court enforcement agents.
With no answer, the agents use the key given to them by the landlord.
Hello?
Hello? High Court enforcement.
Hello? Is anybody in?
We've got a dog in a kennel. All right, boy. Are you okay? Oh, shame. Don't worry. Hello?
No one appears to be in, but the agents need to double check that the house is empty.
Oh, yeah. Got another room going up here. Hello? When you're entering a property on a possession order, you just got to be alert. You know, you don't know what to expect. And you don't know who's in the property or if they're upstairs or not. So you have to be wide awake and take in everything. That's why it's good to work in teams.
No one in.
No. Hello?
But then Stuart makes an alarming discovery.
Yeah, what's that? We'll have to phone the police.
.22 caliber. Made in Turkey. There's one. There's two.
The agents think the guns are air rifles, but Stuart has a legal obligation to get them checked over.
Hi Jesse, wonder if you can. My name's Stuart McCracken, I'm a High Court enforcement agent. We're currently acting out a possession order on a property, and we found two .22 caliber air rifles in a house, and I was just wondering whether there's any officers available just to check them out, because we're not really too sure whether they're any danger or not. Brilliant, thank you so much for your help. Alright, bye-bye. Yeah, they're going to send someone round just to make sure that they are kosher, because there's a zero tolerance on gun culture in Liverpool.
The police are on their way, but there's still no sign of the tenant.
We'll wait for the police to turn up, get the locks changed.
And then if no one comes back to the property...
We'll have to phone the RSPCA.
Yeah, because we can't leave the little dog behind, can we? Not much else here.
Stop putting your paw up, will you? Oh, Vic.
Cute dog, eh?
I want to take the dog.
But moments later, someone arrives at the house.
Hi there.
Hi.
Can I help you, sir?
I'm Michelle's partner.
Is it Paul?
Yeah. Why are you looking at my rifles?
Well, when we go into a property where there's no one home, we have to open up and see what's inside by law.
We've got a writ of possession made to take over the property, so you need to see what you
We
can
only
do.
need, well, I've got a property
Yeah.
for us to go to.
Alright, okay.
But it's just not ready yet today.
Yeah. You got an hour to collect what you need.
Really?
As simple as that.
You'll have 7 days
Yeah.
to come back. So when the other property is ready in 2 or 3 days, you can then move whatever's yours directly into that. But
She's got to come home to all this. I'm not even registered as a tenant of the house. I just come to look after my daughter and stuff like that, you know?
Yeah.
Is it you and Michelle's daughter?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. That's what I say. I'll leave all my bits here because I lost my mum a couple of years ago. And,
But you do live here at the moment.
in and out.
Yeah.
As I said, I spend some time with my sisters. We're not together, me and Michelle, it's just... I just don't feel after a little girl.
Yeah. When we do go to evictions, emotions run high. It's the worst day in most people's lives, and it can turn families upside down. Where are they going to go? How are they going to deal with the situation? What's going to happen to the stuff?
The situation is taking its toll on Paul. But Stuart has to make it clear they have more than one writ to enforce.
We've got a balance to collect as well. Owed to the landlord.
Do you know if Michelle will have that money?
No way. She's a community carer.
Michelle, the tenant, is at work, but the agents need to make Paul aware that they could remove goods to offset the £4,000 she owes, even in her absence.
So we're also here to seize goods to the value of.
Stuff that's mine and the little girls.
Yeah, we need to see evidence of that, like a sales invoice or something like that, or a sales receipt for the goods. I'm afraid.
Well, obviously things like that aren't Michelle's.
I don't know. I can't take assumptions, I'm afraid. So everything that we do take today is stored for 7 days. Anything of value.
We haven't got that much of value.
Well, that's where we stand, mate. Just take a minute, like I said.
Sorry, we've been trying so hard to get
I know.
out of the town.
Yeah.
It's a gift off me, Mum. I can get a receipt from Aladdin's Care Board this
Yeah.
my daughter for her birthday. I'm meant to be taking her shooting tomorrow for her birthday.
Yeah.
She's school. Not like this has ever happened to me before. You have to excuse me.
No, of course. No. Take as much time as you need. Having two separate writs is very tough, but on the other side of it, you need to remember that there is a landlord there that is missing thousands of pounds worth of rent, and it needs to be paid one way or another. We're there to represent the landlord, and we're there to get a result.
20 minutes after they were called, the police arrived to check out the guns.
Hello, officer, you okay?
Hello, you alright?
Yeah.
This is what you found, is it?
Yeah.
They are both under £12 foot of pressure. The magazine goes in there and the chamber is free. Would you mind if I just
I'd rather if you didn't, so just put it down
Right,
for us
yeah.
if that's okay.
The police confirmed that the guns are air rifles and are not powerful enough to require a licence.
Okay, that's perfect. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
The officers leave. And moments later, Michelle arrives home.
Yeah, I've started back and we've just got nowhere to go because we got let down on the house.
It's a writ of control and a writ of possession. So anything of value will be seized to offset the debt, which is £4,163.68.
Basically, Michelle, can I just explain to you quickly?
Yeah, but I need to get, because I want to get going.
No, I appreciate that. You've got like an hour, right, to gather what you can take, personal belongings,
We've got
etc.
7
etc.
days to remove everything that's ours.
As Michelle and Paul start to pack some essentials, the agents make an inventory of goods in the house. But there doesn't appear to be anything of value. As Paul hasn't provided proof that the air rifles are his, they appear to be the only items worth seizing. Stuart phones the office for advice.
There's nothing really of value in the house apart from 2 air rifles, which I reckon are worth a couple of £100, but it's whether we want to have them removed or not. They can't really confirm who they belong to, so I just wanted to see. Yeah, so we'll take it from there. Cheers, Mike. Thanks for letting me know.
The office advised that because the guns would have to be stored in a specialist facility, the cost of removing them will outweigh their value.
We won't be taking the guns, mate.
So I can keep them.
You can keep them, no problem at
I
all.
feel like cooking it.
No.
Because that was me done.
No, we won't be taking the guns, mate.
With nothing else they can seize, all the agents can do now is complete the eviction.
Would you help me carry Ellie up to
Yeah, of course I will. If you want to pop it in my van, I'll quite happily look after her. No. I'm a dog man, you see. Gorgeous dog.
Just as Michelle and Paul leave, the landlord, Jan, and her partner arrive.
Hi. Hiya.
You know Paul?
Yeah. Do you want to come in?
And she tells the agents some surprising news.
We were friends. She used to look after my children when they were little.
How long has she lived here?
4 years.
Oh.
They haven't paid rent for 10 months.
Jan may have got her house back, but she's still £4,000 out of pocket.
What's happening about the risk of control?
There's nothing here of value. There's about £250 worth of stuff in this house, and it's going to cost £300 to store it. But we'll get them at the new address, and we'll take it from there.
The case is resolved for now. But as the arrears are still outstanding, Michelle may face further action. Stuart and Vic faced a complex situation. But in Gary and Connor's next case, a life-changing debt.
All 5 of you are still liable for £83,487.15.
Leaves a family torn apart.
It's sad because all 5 of them are my brothers. Money, isn't it? Money, over money and greed.
Last year, more county court judgments were issued against individuals in England and Wales than any other year on record. The number of judgments rose by nearly a quarter since the previous year and exceeded 900,000. (6:30 a.m). High Court enforcement agent Gary Brown and trainee Connor Jackson are in Palmer's Green, North London. They have a writ to recover a large debt of over £80,000 owed in unpaid legal fees.
Today we have a huge case. For 5 individual debtors at 5 individual addresses, owing a total of £83,487.15.
It's all about the pennies.
The debtors are siblings. Following their father's death, the eldest brother became the sole beneficiary of his estate. The siblings contested the will but lost the case and were ordered to pay their brother's costs.
I think I'm going to have to play this really softly.
Not too soft, we want to get 80 grand out of them.
We need to get in to see their circumstances.
Each debtor is individually liable for the whole amount on the writ. But as Gary knows that it's unlikely that any one person will pay in full, he needs to collect a share of at least £16,000 from each of the siblings.
This is it here.
Vangelia Kumis, also known as Angela, is the first on the list.
Hi, can I speak to Evangelia, please?
It's me.
Sorry?
It's me.
Yeah.
I haven't done anything.
I'll explain what it's about. It's a legal matter. We have a High Court writ against you, and 4 other people have been taken to court. I'm assuming you know what it's about.
I know what it's about, yeah.
What is it about?
It's about a will.
Right. So we've been instructed to enforce the writ against all of you, and try and recover the £83,487.15 outstanding. Have you got the means to pay something?
No, because that's why I haven't paid it. It was a big, massive court case. We lost the case, and his costs were awarded against us.
It's a bit different, this case, to how we enforce most cases. Most cases, just one person at one address. Yeah, sure.
I wasn't expecting this.
Although she would have received notice of the agent's visit, Angela is clearly shocked by the sheer scale of the debt.
Have you got access to anything?
I check my accounts, but there's no way I'll be able to pay at this stage in time. I can't pay my share. I haven't got all the funds.
It's a shame when it comes down to this.
But it was a lot of money. It was millions.
Yeah.
It was a couple of millions. So we thought, Dad was a wealthy man. My dad was a very wealthy man. We all expected him to share equally because this is what he said to us. But it turned out he just gave it to Amsterdakis.
What we do need to do, though, is come to some sort of arrangement and the balance start to be paid off.
I'll have to ask Jack, my brother Jack, to pay my share, and then I'll pay him in instalments.
Do you think he'd be able to pay your share and his share?
No, I don't think so. Or he might not either. He might say, "Wait, credit, she pays for it."
Do you want to ring him while we're here?
Angela gets her brother Jack on the phone.
Yeah, hello, Giacomo. Are you sitting down? He's taken out a county court judgment against all of us, and you're the bailiffs, aren't you? Yeah, the bailiffs have come to my house. We've got to today. He wants something today.
Could I speak to him?
Yeah, shall I pass him over to you, Giacomo? Yeah.
Hello. Hi. Hello, mate. My name's Gary Brown. I'm the enforcement agent. All 5 of you taken to court and ordered to pay £83,487.
It's just a never-ending story.
Jack, how much could you raise today?
Maybe 10k, possibly.
Okay.
I can call some favours. It's going to be a struggle anyway, but I'll get it.
It's not good news. Jack can't even cover his own share.
Well, this is like I'm in a nightmare. That's what it feels like.
Now the agents have no choice but to look for goods to seize to offset at least part of the debt.
I'm just going to have a look around and see what goods are upstairs.
If you check, the house is not in my husband's house. Everything is my husband's.
But how long have you both been married?
We've been married a long time.
Yeah, so it would be believed that you own some of the goods in the house.
He'll have a heart attack, and he will kill me.
With no proof that assets in the house don't belong to Angela, Connor continues the inventory. But then she makes a surprising offer.
My last bank statement was 8,000, and I thought, should I be paid this? I'll have 9,000, maybe 10,000, probably. I don't want to ask my husband.
Angela thinks she can find £10,000. It's less than her share, but it seems it's the best she can do.
One of the things I'm conscious of is your husband's reaction if you were to...
See, I don't want to tell him straight away.
So, in light of that, I'm going to accept £20,000 today.
Thank you very much.
Between yourself and Jack.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, God bless you. Thank you. That
It just-
I can raise that. Me and Jack can do that.
It just takes the pressure off a bit, doesn't it? I don't want to be the ultimate cause of a breakdown in a marriage because...
Breakdown in a marriage, to breakdown in a person as well.
When I deal with complicated family disputes, I try and keep an open mind and try and gain the trust of the defendants involved, that you will treat everybody fairly and ultimately come out with a decision at the end of it that is suitable for everyone.
Angela agrees to pay the £20,000 later that day.
Angela, can I just get your signature on this paperwork, please? This is the breakdown, so £20,000 to be paid by 4 o'clock today.
But before the agents leave, she gets another brother, James, on the phone.
Now he would want to speak to you now. Do you want to speak to him now? Because he's here. He's right here in my house.
Hello?
Hello there, hi.
Hi.
Well, there's nothing I can do. I haven't got access to accounts to pay you anything now. I can try and sort something out next week.
Yeah, okay. Thanks, mate. Cheers. Bye.
Gary comes to an agreement with James that he will pay £10,000 in 6 days. But now all 3 debtors so far have underpaid their share.
Nice to meet you. I'm sure it wasn't under nicer circumstances.
Yeah, I'll see you again.
Right. Hopefully not, no.
Hopefully not. Thank you. Thank you.
In a nice way.
Alright.
Alright.
Ta-da.
Take care.
Now Gary and Connor have to see if the last 2 brothers named on the writ can clear the balance of £53,000. But since the court case, they've not spoken to the rest of the family.
It's sad because all 5 of them are my brothers, all of them. And we grew up together, we worked together. We did everything together. Now look, it's all
Yeah, that's
split
the boys,
apart.
really.
Money, isn't it? Money, over money and greed.
Angela's estranged brothers, Andros and Christopher, live less than 5 minutes away.
I'm not expecting too much. They're not going to be best pleased about us turning up expecting to take money from them, especially if they don't have a relationship with the other 3.
But as the judgment says, they are liable for it.
The brothers live in the same block of flats.
Right, we're in.
Gary and Connor try Christopher first.
Hi, my name is Gary Brown. I'm High Court Enforcement. Yeah. Could you buzz me in, please?
No, I can't.
Can I speak to Chris Kumis, please?
Not here.
Can you let me in so I can explain what this is about?
No, I can't let you in because Chris is not here. I don't know who you are.
I've just told you I am. I'm a High Court Enforcement.
I can't see you and I can't see no evidence.
Well, do you want me to show you some ID?
No, thank you.
As Christopher's partner won't let them in, the agents call on Andros.
Hi there, Andros Kumis. Hi, my name's Gary Brown. We're enforcement agents.
Come on in.
Thank you. That's all right.
Because I know we've had a debt because we lost the case.
The thing is, all 5 of you are still liable for £83,487.15.
Right.
That's
why
including...
the 80% includes fees?
That's, yeah.
Yeah,
So
okay, fine. Yes, have a look.
Angela
Yeah.
said she can find 10 grand by the end of the day.
And you're aware we don't actually mix?
Yeah.
Right, that's
Yeah.
it, yeah. Right, okay. She can find a whole lot.
She's...
Because if we end up paying, we're going after them for it. It's as simple as that. And why should we pay the whole lot?
Just then, Christopher appears.
What's happened then? Oh, they haven't paid.
None.
Right. Yeah. We knew this might happen.
Yeah.
Because what's going to happen now is, which is what we wanted to avoid, we didn't want any extra charges, and now what's happening is we have to pay it.
Yeah, and then chase them.
I'll speak to our solicitors today. I'll get him to send the remaining funds that he can. And I reckon by Wednesday, Thursday, we should be ready to
clear it.
Yeah, clear it.
It's an unexpected turn of events. Andros and Christopher quickly agree to pay the shortfall of £53,000. But as they've paid more than their siblings, they intend to take them to court.
You're off to do the transfer, yeah?
Thanks, mate. Yeah.
You're welcome. All right. Thank you very much.
With £53,000 paid today and a promise of a further 30, It's been a remarkable case for the agents.
Initially, I was looking at this case thinking, how am I going to play this? It's going to be a nightmare. But I haven't expected the responses we've had today at all. Cracking job.
A recent survey has revealed that nearly 3/4 of small businesses in London say business rates are the most important problem they face. More than 6 in 10 have seen an increase in their business rates over the last year, and almost 2/3 have seen a negative impact on their business as a direct result. High Court enforcement agents Max Caraher and Paul Bowhill are in East London to collect a debt of nearly £2,000. It's owed by a shop to a business rates consultancy.
We're off to see Mr. Moshin Laquat, trading as Daniel Halal Meat, and we're looking to collect £1,710.12. They made a part payment of £200, and that's it.
The business is a butcher's shop.
Have you enforced a writ in a butcher's before?
No.
Knives and meat cleavers everywhere.
Don't panic.
I never panic when I'm working with you.
The writ instructs Max and Paul to collect full payment today or remove assets to cover the debt.
Right, let's go and see the butcher.
I'll just hold back slightly so you can rush in.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Hi guys. Can I speak to the manager, please? He's not here. Could you get him on the phone for me, please? We're enforcement agents here with a High Court writ. What's your boss's name? Mobashin Nawaz. And who's Moshin Laquat? You don't know him?
One of the butchers gets the manager, Mr. Nawaz, on the phone.
Is that the manager?
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant, thank you. Hi, is that Mr. Laquat? He's not here anymore. And you say he's been gone for a long time. Okay, we're going to need to see proof of that. Thanks very much. Cheers, mate, bye. He's coming down, he says it'll be about 20, 25 minutes. We're going to have a look around at the paperwork and documents. Sorry, guys.
Max wants to check that everything he's being told is true.
Receipts from yesterday. Whoa!
Behind the counter is the notification of enforcement the agents have sent to Mr. Liaquat.
This is what caused them to make the payment, isn't it?
Max receives another phone call from the manager, Mr. Nawaz.
Who's this? The owner?
Yeah.
He now claims that he owns the business.
You bought the shop off of him nearly a year ago. Okay, I'm going to need to see documentation for that, because we've just found our notification of enforcement here in the paperwork.
Whilst Max is on the phone, a man arrives. He says that he is the uncle of Mr. Nawaz, who claims to be the current owner.
Yeah, why does it happen?
There's a High Court writ being issued here.
Yeah.
And the person named on is Moshin Likat.
Yeah, he's gone from here.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
This shop,
yeah.
Is it a limited company?
I think so, sole trader.
Sole trader.
Mobashin Nawaz.
Right. Is he here? Where is he?
He's coming now.
Okay, well, we'll just wait for him.
Right, I'm going to start an inventory.
Max is sceptical and starts to make an inventory of assets. If Mr. Nawaz can't prove the goods belong to him, they can be seized. At the same time, Paul tries a different tactic.
If I can go beyond this, there's an easy way of dealing with this. Is pay this and take it up with the other guy.
Other guys don't have any concern here, though.
We've got all the evidence we need to start removing goods.
With no sign of Mr. Liaquat or the man who claims to own the business now, will the agents have to remove goods to cover the debt? Max and Paul were in East London to recover over £1,700 from butcher Mr. Liaquat. They were told that he had left the business.
Yeah, he's gone from here.
And that it had been sold to a new owner, Mr. Nawaz.
You bought the shop off of him nearly a year ago.
But Max found paperwork with the defendant's name on it.
We've got all the evidence we need to start removing goods.
Now Mr. Nawaz must prove that he owns the business or risk losing valuable equipment.
Hello, sir. Who are you?
Mr. Nawaz.
So you're Mr. Nawaz?
Yeah.
Did I speak to you on the phone?
Yeah, you did.
You bought this business here.
Yeah.
When did you buy it?
Nearly a year ago.
Okay. Prove it.
How do you want to prove it?
Look at what we found.
£200 was only paid last week, and this paperwork is here. So whoever paid the £200 was here. We need to see documentary evidence, otherwise we would have to take things away. Have you got bank statements here?
Yeah.
If we see bank statements, we see VAT registration.
Have you got any documents or anything for me?
It seems that Mr. Nawaz is unable to provide any proof the business has changed hands.
Okay, what's going to happen now? I need £1,710 and 12p.
Can I just suggest the easy way out of this? For the amount that's involved, it's not worth all this trouble.
Get him on the phone to pay it.
Get him on the phone to pay it. Otherwise your business is going to be disrupted, which we'd prefer not to do.
Look, Ali, you give me 4 days, 5 days.
No.
Not going to happen. We've got more than enough evidence to show that this gentleman has been operating from here.
We don't want to disrupt your business, but unless we see the paperwork, we have no option.
Both Max and Paul are hoping that the threat to remove assets will resolve the debt.
We'll start disconnecting the fridges. We'll take all those fridges. No, I know you did, but...
Hello, mate. Will have to be a tail lift. 4 chest freezers, plus various smaller meat cutting equipment.
With the freezers at risk, Mr. Nawaz's uncle gets Mr. Liaquat on the line.
Oh, is that him? Hello, is that Mossin? You've got some money to pay, sir. £1,710 and 12p. Are you going to pay this or not? Because otherwise, unless we get proof of ownership of the assets in this premises, we will be removing goods today.
That's between you and them.
Okay, he doesn't care. The gentleman who we're after, who won't front up to the problems, it's pretty evident that they did know about the debt. But he said he'll sort it out. And then, of course, the letter came and he's put that in a drawer and made a part payment.
Paul's patience is finally running out.
There are 2 choices. Okay. Pay or we take it away.
It's not nice.
I know it's not nice, but it's really effective. I'll just unplug the freezers.
Max gives the new owners one last chance to pay.
Sir, can you pay the £1,710?
Sir, give me that card, man.
You need it on card, sir?
Paul and Max's tough stance has worked. Mr. Nawaz's uncle pays the debt in full.
Yeah.
That's gone through.
How much?
It's nice when you find our paperwork. At least they can't say I didn't get the paperwork.
Find out what the trouble with M&S is next Thursday at 9. After the break, a personal insight into the spotlight. Brand new Me and My Mental Health begins in just a moment.
threats,
Mr. Khan, Mr. Khan.
Don't push your luck with me.
anger,
Don't, sir, don't.
desperation.
Can I just speak to one of my family members if they can help me out?
What happens when debt
I know my rights. Do not calm yourself down.
tracks you down?
I'm not even paying a penny of it.
Up and down the UK,
Oh, you can't take my, don't be taking my equipment.
we see Britain's most resilient High Court enforcement agents
Can't believe that's been lit.
dealing with every debtor's worst nightmare.
Today is actually my birthday.
Because if you can't pay,
There's absolutely nothing I can do.
they'll take it away. Research from a leading debt charity has revealed that Londoners are more likely to be in debt than anyone else in the UK. Burdened by low wages and high living costs, Londoners owe an average of over £12,000. High Court enforcement agents Paul Bohill and Max Caraher are in Colindale, North London, with a writ to collect over £1,800 owed in unpaid parking fines.
Right, Paul, we are looking to collect £1,837.69.
The case began when the debtor moved into her flat 12 months ago and failed to obtain a permit to park outside the block.
They'll be all allocated spaces, won't they?
The debtor began receiving multiple parking tickets, but didn't pay them. So the parking company escalated the case to the High Court, and now she must pay in full today.
Hello, Fattier.
Hey, who is this?
High Court enforcement agents here.
Do you want to come up?
Thank you. Hello, miss. Sorry to bother you. Here to see Fattier. Is that yourself? Hello, miss. Right. My name's Max Caraher. My colleague Paul Bohill. We've been sent round. Would you like us to discuss it so your neighbours can't hear anything?
You know what? It's just I have to be at work at 11 o'clock, that's why.
The reason we've been sent round is because we've got a High Court writ for you.
Okay.
It's in regards to your vehicle's parking.
I did actually try to phone them today.
There's an outstanding balance of £1,837.69. You do know about this?
I've got the letter, as I said to you today. I was speaking to them, but there was no answer. Is there any other way you can come back to me and then we can discuss and talk about it? Because I'm just going to ask you at work.
This matter's been going on. The date of the CCJ on this was the 17th of the 11th, 2016.
I've got a disability child, but he can walk. So as long as he can walk, you're not entitled to a disability. But
Yeah.
sorry,
Okay.
I've been going through this
So
for so long.
take a deep. I'll tell you what, miss. You sit down, take a deep breath, and we'll speak.
It appears that Fatia had been waiting for a special parking permit, but her application was turned down.
He says, I don't get you live here, and they're asking you not to park
Sure.
outside your house.
Despite Fatia's dispute with the parking company, the agents are duty-bound to collect the £1,800 they came for.
Can you pay anything of this, please?
What do you need? Can I give you £50 at the moment? And
No,
then you can
not
come back.
no. We need to collect on the
Can I just speak to
1,830.
one of my family members if they can help me out?
That's no problem at all. Absolutely no problem. Take a deep breath. It's all right. Who are you going to phone, madam?
I'm trying to find out a friend.
Yeah.
My brother's at work.
Is
I'm
he?
trying to ask somebody to help me. Exactly how much can I pay today? Because
We
it's
need
not-
to collect the full balance, which is £1,837.
Well, just give me a minute.
Yeah, no problem.
Listen, enforcement, I need your help.
When I see that a defendant is becoming emotional and they have been very genuine with me, I don't like seeing it. There are occasions where I do feel sorry for people. This could be the worst day for them, and if I can remain as professional as possible, then that's a job well done.
30 minutes later, Fatia's brother arrives.
Hello, sir. Hello. My name's Max, my colleague Paul.
I've already said I'm going to make the payment, but they want their money right now.
The reason we're here is because we've got a High Court writ for your sister.
It all seems to be going smoothly, but then a friend arrives.
Hello.
And he wants answers.
Hello, sir. We've got a High Court writ.
I don't care. You need to step out.
We're not going to be stepping
Yeah,
outside.
you haven't been invited in.
We don't have to be invited in.
No,
I've got a High Court writ.
I don't care what you've got.
Okay, sir, don't shout. I've got a High Court writ.
No, I am, because you're intimidating
Look,
me.
I'm not
No,
intimidating.
get out.
Everything's not going to get out.
Listen. Sorry, I didn't actually call him. So
Okay, we'll get the police who will do the removal. Have a word.
He hasn't been invited in. You need to get out of this house.
Do
you have a warrant to be in here?
I have a High Court writ to be in here.
You have a writ? Is that a warrant to be in this
It's a
premises?
writ, yeah. So what we're going to do,
Hang on. No, is that a warrant? I don't care. I'm talking. Who am I talking to? Is dealing with me? Is it you or is it him?
Speak to both.
No, I can deal with one of you.
Okay.
There's only one of you.
Okay.
You don't have the right to take anything from these people.
Okay.
She's crying. How does it feel? How does it make you feel? You feel big.
Right, I did nothing to make her cry.
This simple case has taken an ugly turn.
I've treated her with nothing but respect.
No, but you're in her house without
Absolutely.
permission.
With permission.
With the man in direct conflict with Max, it will take all the agent's skills to stop his hostility spiralling out of control. Paul Bohill and Max Caraher were in Colindale, North London, to recover a debt of over £1,800 owed in unpaid parking tickets.
Is there any other way you can come back to me and then we can discuss and talk about it?
Fatia claimed she couldn't get a special permit to park outside her block.
I've got a disability child, but he can walk. So as long as he can walk, you're not entitled to a disability. But sorry,
Okay.
I've been going through this
So
for so long.
take a deep breath.
And could only afford to repay a fraction of what she owed.
Can I give you £50 at the moment? And then you can come back.
We need to collect on the 1,800.
Can I just speak to one of my family members if they can help me out?
But when a friend arrived, things turned nasty.
She's crying. How does it feel? How does it make you feel? You feel big.
Now, the agents need to make their authority clear and get this case resolved for good.
If you're instructing an enforcement agent, then the police have to come.
Let them come.
Max calls the police.
Hello, we're enforcement agents enforcing a High Court writ and we're being obstructed. Could we have some units of 10,
He
please?
doesn't have anything on it.
With an enforcement action, we experience a complete range of emotions. All of these things are just grist to the mill. It's all standard reactions. So we just stay there, stand and listen to it until they run out of breath, till it fades away, and then we'll just return to the original conversation.
The police are on their way, and with Fatia's sister now here to keep the peace, Paul tries to get the case back on track.
Listen, can I intervene? His attitude is going to do nothing to help this situation. What we need is payment of this, and we need to discuss how that's going to be paid.
Yeah. Listen, he's just upset, but please,
Okay.
can we sort this out?
You need to give us the figure that you can pay. We will then contact the office.
That's why
Put it to the client.
We're going to pay you whatever we can. We can't afford to
Okay.
pay 1,800.
Okay,
Yeah.
right. If you listen to me for a second, we have to take the full balance.
I can pay £500 today.
Okay. We need a bit more than that.
But that's all I have. I just told you. I swear to you, if I had that kind of money today, the day I got the letter, I would have paid it. I hate problems.
Yeah.
Paul has to make it clear that Fatia's £500 offer won't be accepted by the claimant.
Together. If we were to say they'll accept £1,000, are you able to make that happen?
And then the rest?
And the rest can be paid £100 a month.
But I don't have anything else. Nobody
Okay.
can just afford to give you money. They've been giving us a ticket like a week, twice maybe, or 3 times.
So there are more tickets in the pipeline then?
Yeah, but how am I supposed to pay that when I'm trying to feed my kids and pay the bill? I don't know what to do.
It seems Fatia can't get close to the £1,000 Paul has asked for. Finally, the police arrive.
I told him I've got to work.
Sure.
And they didn't listen. I told him to come back later. I
Okay.
didn't do anything.
But no, we're not saying you have, but at the end of the day, they're here to do a job, just let them do it.
With the police present, Fatia's brother takes Max aside.
You're right with 7. I'll make a call for you.
The offer is less than the £1,000 Paul asked for, but it seems it's the best the family can do. Max calls the office.
We need kind of a quick decision on that. Right, the bloke's offered 700. Okay.
Yeah, the client is happy to accept that payment offer.
Brilliant. Just confirm that's 700 and then 100 a month.
£100 a month, yes.
Madam, I know how this has been an uphill battle and very stressful. It has been accepted for the 700. Just check the amount, put your pin in for me, please.
Fatia's brother makes a £700 down payment. And she agrees to pay £100 a month to clear the balance.
We won't delay you any further. We can leave now. Thank you very much. Take care.
The case is resolved for now.
Thank you for your time.
But it'll be another year until Fatia is free of this debt.
That aggravation there went from 0 to 10 in a matter of seconds. Nothing was going to stop him talking.
Yeah, I fully agree with you.
A recent survey has revealed that self-employed workers in the UK are increasingly struggling with late invoice payments. On average, they're owed nearly £5,500, and more than a third have either asked family for help or sought a payday loan to cover the shortfall. High Court enforcement agents Stuart McCracken and Elmore Victor are in Accrington, Lancashire. They're hoping to recover a debt of over £2,200 owed to a shipping company by scrapyard owner Mr. Mumtaz Khan.
What do you know?
I do know he's not playing ball with us.
Right.
This is not the first time the agents have tried to enforce this writ. Last time they were here, the yard was locked up, and Mr. Khan was nowhere to be seen.
We've got a lot of them to stand by in case we need to force entry.
Oh, well.
Yeah, that's how we roll.
Let's go and have a chat.
Once again, the gate is locked. But this time, the office door is open and leads the agents out into the yard.
Hello? Hiya, mate. We're after Mr. Khan. Yeah.
That's me.
Hi, Mr. Khan. We're High Court enforcement agents, sir. It's regarding an outstanding balance, sir, for £2,266. We're here to collect the balance. If not, we are instructed to remove goods, mate.
I don't have that much money on me.
Well, you need to see what you can do, mate, to try and raise something, because we'll have to remove, like I said, some of the goods in here.
As Mr. Khan says he can't pay, the agents need to look around the yard for assets they could seize. Most of the cars here are of low scrap value, but there are several working vehicles, including an expensive forklift.
Have you got documentation for these vehicles?
They're not mine, they're the only car park centres, the ones that purchased them.
Yeah, but have you got documentation for them?
Not me, they have.
So would you be able to get in contact with the owner of the vehicle so we can supply us with the receipt?
Yeah, sure.
So are you able to do that now?
Yeah, sure.
Fantastic.
The forklift?
Forklift truck as well.
Just whatever it is.
Yeah.
As Mr. Khan heads inside to make some calls, Stuart follows him to look for any other assets that might be on the premises. But Mr. Khan has other ideas.
Don't be touching me, sir.
No.
Don't be touching me.
No, I'm not.
Get your hands
Sir,
off me now.
excuse me.
Well, you're not going in the office.
We will.
Why not?
No.
Yes, we are, sir.
We've got a writ of control, yes,
You've got
sir.
right control.
Yeah.
Okay,
You want
don't
your
touch
copy?
me again.
You want your copy?
I'm not.
Mr. Khan.
Touch you.
There.
Yeah, we'll move out of the way then,
Mr.
sir.
Khan,
Yeah.
this document, that gives us the right to go in the office as well, sir.
And check what?
Well,
Whatever we need to
sir.
see, sir.
No, you
anything
don't
up-
have to fucking check nothing.
There's assets in
No,
there.
you're not.
There's assets in there. There's assets in there. Mr. Khan, Mr. Khan.
Do one,
Don't push
okay?
me.
All right?
Don't push
I
me.
don't give a fuck who you are. I said,
Yeah.
just don't push your luck with me.
At the end of the day, sir, you ain't going to stop me doing my job.
You all right?
Whether you
Mr.
like it or
Khan,
not, sir.
you need to
You
relax.
understand?
Mr. Khan.
Stay there.
Most people become aggressive purely down to shock. They're embarrassed, they've known about it, they've tried to hide away from it, but they've got to realise that once we turn up at that address, we're not leaving until that writ has been executed to its full force.
With the agents shut out of the office, Vic tries to reason with Mr. Khan.
So at the end of the day, it is a writ of control, and you need to understand we have the right to go into that office. Look, I'll show you on the document.
What is
here.
it that you want from the office? Go on, what is it? I mean,
We need to look at, look, sir. First of all, we want to get payment.
Yeah, I understand what you're
Right?
trying to get
We
payment.
want to get payment, right?
Just stay there, buddy.
No, I'll leave the door open.
What can you pay today, sir?
I swear to God, I cannot make any payment. I just don't have the money.
So we're going to have to take control of goods, sir.
I'll give you my bank details online. I'm telling you, I'm overdrawn and I'm already stuck there.
I understand that, but you can understand they obviously don't want to wait anymore.
Yeah.
That's why they've gone through the High Court.
I don't have a choice, have I? I don't have a choice. I've got so many people, asking for money.
It seems that Mr. Khan's business has fallen on hard times. But the agents still need to get this case resolved, one way or another.
So the forklift outside, who does that belong to?
That belongs to me.
Is that yours?
Right, okay, I'll ring recovery then.
Whatever you need to do, do it.
Mr. Khan has changed his story. The forklift is his after all, and the agents now have an asset they can seize.
CT54.
Stuart calls the office with an update.
He's got a forklift truck here. This forklift truck, mate, is a weight. All right.
But inside, the prospect of losing his work vehicle suddenly prompts Mr. Khan to start negotiating.
If you give me till tomorrow, all right?
We can't, sir.
And then, £500, £400, I try my best to at least get that much and say, here, mate.
Right, okay, listen, I'm going to be honest with you. And I know you're going to say to me, no ways, but if you can get to 1,000 today, listen to me. No, listen to me. I know, but this is a lifeline I'm trying to throw you. I know, sir.
I don't know who's...
I can tell you now, they won't take less than 1,000.
I'll phone my brother up and say what he says.
Once people open up to you and you win their trust, it makes the job a bit easier, because all of a sudden you've got communications going, and that's what we're there to do. We're there to resolve the matter. And if people don't talk to you, you can't resolve the matter.
15 minutes later, his brother arrives.
Hello.
After talking to him, Mr. Khan makes another offer.
She says, I'll lend you 1,000.
Right.
All right.
So you can get £1,000 today. Right, I'm not saying they're going to accept it, all right, but I will make the phone call, okay?
Vic calls the office to see whether the claimant will accept £1,000 today, together with a plan to pay off the balance.
Hi, Tom, you're right, mate. You can get £1,000 cash now, or bank transfer. Just can you run that by the claimant and give me a call back? Okay, mate. Mr. Khan, they're going to phone the claimant now and give me a call back, all right? At the end of the day, it's up to them. I wish it was my choice, but it's not, I'm afraid. If we can see that someone is genuinely trying to raise funds, we will work with that person. We will always try and help someone that is trying to help themselves.
Moments later, the office calls back.
They don't accept it now. Full balance. They're not accepting it after Mr. Khan. They want the full balance.
I'm just gonna go.
Mr. Khan? Mr. Khan? How long will it, how far is it? Okay, no, that's fine.
It seems that Mr. Khan has gone to try and raise the rest of the balance. While they wait for him to return, his brother opens up to Vic.
He's my big brother, but obviously he's a hard belief for you, but we've got our own life as well.
Yeah.
If I come here and help him for a couple of months, I'll be in trouble. We're survivors, mate, you know.
Yeah.
We're old school survivors.
"20 minutes later, Mr. Khan returns to the yard.
It's one of my mates. He's transferring the money into my account.
Okay. So someone's going to transfer money into your account now, and you'll pay us on the machine. Yeah, that's fine.
Mr. Khan has managed to raise the £2,266 he owes, and he pays off the debt in full.
Right, that is the end of the matter. All the best for the future, yeah?
The agent's perseverance has paid off.
Lunch is on you, innit, Vic? Whoever gets it paid is the one who gets lunch.
Stuart and Vic got a result against the odds. But in Stephen Ben's next case...
So what's going to happen now?
You have 1 hour to pack your belongings and leave the property.
A simple eviction...
Madam, you do realise your time is running out?
I'm explaining stuff.
OK,
You're not listening.
...turns into an alarming standoff.
Madam, I can hear that there's a child in there and the child is clearly distressed.
You don't have the correct papers. It's not crying.
Evictions by private landlords remain the single biggest cause of homelessness in England. In 2016, nearly 20,000 households became homeless after being evicted from privately rented properties. (9 a.m) High Court enforcement agent Steve Pinner and son Ben are in Bayswater, West London, to carry out an eviction.
Nice, pretty square.
Tenant Cynthia Fubang Chia had been renting a flat with her daughter for 6 years. But when her tenancy came to an end, she refused to leave.
There is no costs on this order, it's purely an eviction.
Ms. Chia repeatedly ignored eviction notices from the county court, and after months of trying to make her leave, the landlord escalated the case to the High Court.
This is a parking space.
Well, this is us sorted.
But this eviction will be far from straightforward.
No one's in at the inn. Ah, sir, good morning. Sorry to disturb you. We're trying to get into flat 7.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. Madam, can you open the door, please? My name is Ben, High Court Enforcement. We're here to evict you.
Are you serious?
Absolutely.
Can you call the court, please? I'm appealing this decision.
It's been transferred to the High Court, and the High Court eviction order has been issued.
So what's going to happen now?
You have 1 hour to pack your belongings and leave the property.
Can you come in, please?
Absolutely.
Ms. Chia claims she's in the process of appealing the court's decision, and the agent's visit has clearly come as a shock.
They didn't send me a letter.
They've sent you numerous letters.
And the claimant is still receiving payment.
He's entitled for you to pay him rent.
Yeah, but he's receiving full pay. So how can he then...
Of course he can, because the court has ordered you to leave and you failed to leave.
He hasn't. Oh my God, this is not fair. Can you wait outside and let me do what I can do, please? Because I'm just confused.
A lot of the properties we go to for repossessions are challenges because the people in the properties think that, you know, why are you evicting us? This shouldn't be right. You can't do this. Obviously, the process that has gone through enables us to do it, but they're just in denial.
Ms. Chia has only an hour to pack her essentials and leave, but instead she's on the phone to the courts.
What can I do in this situation?
You've got to speak with the enforcement officer.
Madam, you do realise your time is running out?
I'm telling you, I'm explaining stuff.
Okay,
You're not listening.
No, you're not listening to me, madam. I want to really explain to you. At 10 o'clock, you're leaving this property.
Okay, can I... Yeah.
You've got to take your stuff.
With Ms. Chia not cooperating, Steve changes tactics.
I'm going to call the police and ask them to come. Yes, I'm a High Court enforcement agent. And I'd like an officer to attend the property to explain the authority that we have in a repossession order.
Okay, I will try and get something out to you.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay, the police officers are on their way now.
I haven't committed any crime.
You're obstructing me, madam.
No, I'm not.
You've got to take your stuff.
Can you please just wait?
No.
I'm not locking the door.
Madam, we're not leaving the property. Property is no longer yours.
15 minutes after they were called, the police arrive.
Welcome to the fun house.
Cynthia,
Yeah.
there is no more argument, okay? We'll need to be as quick as you can, please, because otherwise you're going to be obstructing these very nice gentlemen in the lawful execution of their duties, all right?
Yeah.
Cynthia, we need to go.
Yeah. Are you going to lock the door?
I am going to lock the door.
What keys do you have?
With the police present, Ms. Chia finally leaves. She now has 7 days to arrange with her landlord to pick up the rest of her and her daughter's belongings.
All done. Lock the door, please. Let's get out of here.
The eviction appears to be complete. But 5 months later, the case takes an extraordinary turn. And Steve and Max are on their way back to the same flat.
She made an arrangement with the landlord to come back and collect her stuff. And when she got into the flat, she locked the landlord out.
The landlord applied for another repossession order. But before the new writ was issued, Ms. Chia secured a court hearing where the landlord agreed she could stay in the flat for 3 more months to give her time to find somewhere else to live.
Yep, it's there because we parked at the bays there last time.
But the 3-month extension has now expired and Ms. Chia is still there. So the agents are back with another writ to evict her for a second time.
She has got to go. She stayed well beyond her welcome. This job never ceases to amaze me. In my enforcement career, I've never heard of a case where a tenant needs to be evicted from the same domestic property twice, ever. It's locked.
Hello? High Court Enforcement, Miss Chia.
Yeah, what is it?
I'm an enforcement agent with a High Court writ.
For what?
To repossess the property. Could you open the door, please?
I'm saying this because I have possession up until the 1st of April.
What's the date today?
He has to make an application.
Today is the 3rd of April.
Cynthia, you going to open the door?
Wait.
Open the door, or I will open the door.
You don't have the correct papers. He's not crying.
Madam, I can hear that there's a child in there and the child is clearly distressed. Yes, we definitely don't want to distress the child.
Go away! Go away! You're not allowed to be here. You don't have a reason.
If you obstruct us, it's a criminal offence, okay?
I'm not obstructing. My daughter is behind the door.
I think it's absolutely unacceptable that as a parent, you would put your daughter in the way of the door, okay?
Concerned for the child's welfare, Max feels he has no alternative but to call the police for assistance.
Hiya, we're enforcement agents. We've got a High Court writ of possession. The defendant is refusing to leave and we have concerns for the welfare of the child.
Okay, shall we get a unit assigned as soon as possible?
Thanks ever so much for that.
Alright.
Bye. Cynthia, can you hear me okay? The police are coming.
Yeah, but why are you calling the police?
Why? Because honestly, I'm concerned for the welfare of your child.
For what welfare?
You told me you put the child in front of the door.
I haven't put she. I said she was standing there. Can you come back tomorrow or something?
Absolutely not.
Okay, then.
When children are presented in front of us when we're enforcing a writ, their interests come first. A lot of us have children with fathers. The last thing we're going to do is put any of them in danger.
That's the police.
Minutes after they were called, the police arrive.
Hi, thank you for coming.
Cynthia, it's the police. Can you open the door, please?
They didn't listen to me. I went back to the house and the house just put us back in here.
Okay.
Now they've come, all this witness, the one they're telling you.
They have a High Court writ to say that you must leave the property.
From where? Can I see it?
The gentleman, I don't have the gentleman have it.
What are you using to evict me? You know you don't have me and you know. You're just trying to cause the police.
Listen,
you don't have
with the greatest respect to you, I can't afford to make a mistake in being here for the wrong reasons. Cynthia, may I speak to you?
You still need a writ. You cannot just come to my door and evict me. Where is your order?
We went back to court and got a writ, okay? This writ gives us immediate effect.
Can you call the High Court?
No, she needs to go.
Right? Officer, they're just trying to have. They know that they don't have the...
I'm sorry, okay? It does appear that they do, okay? So you need to start listening to what these gentlemen... I appreciate it's upsetting and it's not ideal. You need to think about your little girl. This isn't nice for her.
So I should go back to court now, is that
No, you need to take your belongings and then...
No, I will go back to court because that's what I'm going to do.
You need to take your belongings
because they don't have any grounds.
I am here to uphold the peace, okay? And at the minute, You're obstructing these guys from doing their job. Would you like arresting, quite simply?
Yeah. No.
Then sort your stuff out.
Put your phone down and let's get going.
He's just wrong. How can they evict me for no reason? He doesn't have the...
Yes, he does. It's time to leave. We're going now, okay?
Right, okay. Let's go. Come on.
Lovely.
Okay.
Thank you.
We done?
With the help of the police, Ms. Chia finally accepts that she and her daughter have to leave.
Thank you very much for your help. I do appreciate it. Take care.
Now homeless, it will be up to the council to provide them with emergency accommodation.
Well, that's us done anyway. Thank goodness for that. That is secure.
2 visits and 2 police call-outs later, the case is finally resolved.
Do you think that's the end of the matter?
Oh, I do hope so. I couldn't take another one of those. People are just unreasonable and unbelievable, aren't they?
Yeah.
Research has shown that over 70% of small business owners in the UK feel that cash flow poses the biggest risk to their livelihoods. Cash flow problems affect 4 in 10 small businesses, and nearly a third struggle to meet debt repayments as a direct result. High Court Enforcement Agent Stuart McCracken and Elmore Victor are in Birkenhead, Merseyside. They have a writ to recover over £35,000 owed by a publishing company to an ex-employee.
Sunshine and Vic. We're at Birkenhead. Where are we going?
We're going to visit this morning on the sunny day the Hannay Partnership Limited.
The claimant took the company to court, alleging he was unfairly dismissed.
The door's open.
He won the case and was awarded compensation.
Looks like an intercom entry, mate. Do you want to jump out?
Now, company director Steve Russell must pay the claimant what he owes in full today, or the agents have the right to seize assets to offset the debt.
Hi there, the Hannay Partnership Limited. Thank you. Morning.
Oh, are you okay?
Is it Mr. Steve Russell?
Yeah. So, we're High Court Enforcement Agents, so we've been sent in regards to an outstanding High Court writ.
I was solicited to speak to the case manager.
Yeah.
They were trying to resolve it.
Yeah.
It's been transferred to the High Court, so we need payment today.
We'll have to take control of goods.
At the moment, the outstanding balance is 35,000.
Well, I can't raise any money today to make a payment.
We can give you half an hour to see what you can do.
I'm not being held to ransom like that.
No, not being held to ransom.
While the agents wait to see whether Mr. Russell can raise any funds, they start an inventory of goods in the office.
Sorry guys, I won't get you in any photos.
If you want to carry on working, you can carry on working.
What?
If you want to carry on working, you can keep on working.
If you take the stuff today,
yeah,
I'll put it into liquidation.
Yeah.
So no one's going to win, are they?
That's the last thing we would want to do. We don't want to close you down.
But then Mr. Russell makes a new claim.
So if you look on here, the actual assets, I purchased them for cash.
Yeah.
From the old company.
Yeah.
So there's nothing to be taken really.
So we'd need to see proof of that, sir.
If the goods belong to Mr. Russell personally and not to the company named on the writ, they can't be seized. He shows them a document he thinks proves his claim.
There's no serial numbers there with those mats, are there? See what I mean? No serial numbers. There's no proof on that document that these goods is what you bought.
The inventory does not prove that Mr. Russell and not the company own the goods, so the agents continue listing assets for removal.
We are never in the position that we want to take control of goods. It's a last option. We're not there to wreck anyone's livelihoods or put the job in threat or cause them any due distress, but the harsh reality of it is if you stick your head in the sand and you don't deal with it, that could be the ultimate cost.
30 minutes has now passed, and Mr. Russell hasn't managed to raise any funds.
Can you just advise the guys that need to switch off the computers and back up the systems?
The agents turn up the pressure and start packing up the seizable assets. But seeing his business under real threat, Mr. Russell calls Vic over. He's decided to make an offer.
Get 10 now.
There now, and then...
Two grand a month.
Can you up to 2 to 2.5?
I can't.
Stuart calls the office to see whether the claimant will accept Mr. Russell's offer.
He says you can do 2. Did you say you can do 2 each month?
Do 2.
But he says he can't do any more. Yeah. Right, okay. Right, cheers, thanks very much, bye-bye.
The offer has been accepted.
How is it you can make that payment?
Transfer across now.
Okay, no problem, I'll give you our bank details now.
Mr. Russell makes a down payment of £10,000.
Thank you very much. Cheers, bye-bye. Yazin, thank you, Steve.
The agents then list Mr. Russell's assets on a controlled goods agreement.
If you sign that, your printer name, you get a copy of that.
Which means the assets can be removed if he defaults on his repayments.
We're all sorted.
Yeah.
Yeah, brilliant. All right, take it easy, all right?
The case is resolved for now. But 10 days later, it's a very different story. Mr. Russell has defaulted on his payments.
You take this, or attempt to take this stuff today.
Yeah.
That's it.
Of course.
You know you won't get another penny.
High Court enforcement agents Stuart McCracken and Elmore Victor were in Merseyside. They had a writ to recover £35,000 owed by a publishing company to an ex-employee.
So I can give you half an hour to see what you can do.
Well, I can't raise any money today to make a payment.
Company director Mr. Russell couldn't pay the balance.
It's just unrealistic, isn't it? I'm not being held to ransom like that.
No, they're not being held to ransom. You just advise the guys that need to switch off the computers.
But when the agents started to remove assets, Mr. Russell came up with an offer.
Get 10 now.
There now, and then...
2 grand a month.
He agreed to pay £2,000 a month to clear the balance.
We're all sorted.
Yeah.
All right, take it easy, all right?
But a week later, Mr. Russell has defaulted on his first payment of £2,000. And now Stuart and Vic are on their way back to get this case resolved for good.
Let's go. When a defendant doesn't stick to our arrangements or defaults, we are going back with the mentality of it. We're either collect payment or we will be removing goods today. It makes us more determined to get a result. Hello. Hello, Steve, you alright?
You alright?
You signed a control goods agreement saying you're going to pay £2,000 last Friday.
Yeah.
You've broken that payment plan now.
Yeah, okay.
Hence the reason why we're back.
Right.
So are you able to make £2,000 payments?
I'm not, no. I can't pay you £2,000 today.
But you agreed to pay it last Friday.
Well, I haven't got it.
But I haven't got a choice. If you're not going to pay, I'm going to have to remove the goods.
Attempt to remove the goods.
Well, no, we won't be attempting. We will be, sir, if the payment isn't made.
You're just putting undue pressure on me.
I'm not putting pressure on you.
But, well, you are.
How am I?
Because you're saying you're going to take our stuff.
Well, yeah.
But as long as you realise, if you take this, or attempt to take this stuff today,
yeah,
that's it.
Of course.
You know you won't get another penny.
With payment looking unlikely, Stuart calls the office to arrange recovery.
Hi, mate, you alright? He's not willing to make any payments, so we need to ring recovery. It's 12 desks, a couple of iMacs, just basic office equipment.
Because the goods in the office would fetch a fraction of their worth at auction, the agents would have to clear most of it to offset a small part of the £25,000 Mr. Russell still owes. With his business at serious risk, Vic throws him a final lifeline.
Can you pay £1,000 today?
Can't. I've just done the wages.
If you have to revise it, what would a new figure be you put now? So you're offering £500 today and £500 a month going forward?
Yeah.
Stuart calls the office with an update.
The defendant's offered £500 per month.
Yeah.
So can we find out what the claimant says? If not, then can we get indemnity for removal?
But then Stuart hears some surprising news.
Do you know how long he'll be?
Half an hour tops.
Okay, mate. Speak to you shortly. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. He's on his way. Claimant's on his way now.
Yeah.
Mr. Russell's former employee is on his way to broker a deal in person.
What's the point in him coming here?
Got no idea.
It's an extremely unusual development. Mr. Russell calls his accountant for her advice.
Really don't understand what he's trying to achieve by that. I shall resist the temptation to smack him one. Cheers for that. See you in a bit. She's saying, be very careful that you're not being set up to punch him, and then he'll do you for that. It's incendiary, to be honest with you. It's not going to help the situation.
I mean, I've never been in a situation like this before, but we won't let it get to a violent situation, that I can guarantee you.
While they wait for the claimant to arrive, Mr. Russell opens up to the agents about the case.
He is an ex-employee who we parted company with 12 months ago. There was a disagreement over the terms of him leaving, and spiralled into this.
Were you friends before, Steve?
Yeah.
Like on a personal level?
Yeah.
Before business?
Match means concerts and that.
Right. It's sometimes harder to deal with a defendant when the claimant used to be a personal friend. You know, when they know each other, basically. There's obviously personal history, which can make the case more complicated, but it's not going to change what I'm there to do on that day.
10 minutes later, Stuart gets a call from the office.
Hello?
The client just rang me, so I'm here now. That's it.
Right, no problem. Bye-bye.
But it's not the claimant outside. It seems he's backed out and sent his solicitor instead.
How's it going? You okay?
Yeah, good, thanks. So you came here last Monday?
Yeah.
And obviously the deal was 10, which you felt was paid, plus the
That's right.
1,000 a month.
Yeah.
Client says, well, why can't you stick to the £2,000 a month?
Yeah. Apparently he's stating he can't afford it. So we need to know what the claimant wants us to do.
Okay. So in the absence of two, he's asking for 1.5.
Yeah. He's offered 500. He says his accountant's not going to let him pay any more than 500 a month.
The solicitor calls the claimant.
Okay, thank you. So you're saying 1,000 today?
Yeah.
Stuart heads back upstairs to tell Mr. Russell the news.
Right. He says that if you do 1,000 today, he'll agree 500 a month ongoing. And then we'll leave you to get on with the rest of your day.
Okay then.
Yeah? Okay, no problem. How is it you can make that payment by transfer again? Okay.
It's taken 2 visits, but the agents have finally negotiated a plan that Mr. Russell believes he can stick to.
Yeah, he's accepted that. He'll make that payment. Well, thanks a lot for your time, mate. Take it easy. See you later.
Please pay it.
Yeah.
Monthly. I'm sure you're a nice person, but you're going to get tired of our faces after a while.
Alright, Steve.
Glad you didn't have to put on the boxing gloves.
No.
See you later,
Steve.
Mr. Russell has been given his final chance, but if he doesn't stick to his promises, the agents won't give up.
At the end, we got a result, and the claimant is frustrated because it's been going on for so long. They used to be mates, and I think it became now it's a more personal thing than anything else.
2 good friends have lost each other now over money. That's the way life is, isn't it?
You Can't Pay Will Take It Away is back same time next Wednesday. Eamon and Ruth are celebrating a tricky anniversary and are looking for some hot marital tips to avoid the 7-year itch. Brand new tomorrow night at 9, The Saucy Things. Next tonight, those who cheat the system are about to be rumbled in Undercover Benefits Cheat.
Threats,
I'll smash his head.
anger,
Get out of here.
desperation.
Can't pay you.
What happens when debt
You think you can tear my family apart?
tracks you down?
Please just put the shutter down.
Up and down the UK, we see Britain's most resilient High Court enforcement agents dealing with every debtor's worst nightmare.
All I've done is cry from one end to the other.
Because if you can't pay,
Get your hands off of me now.
they'll take it away. A recent survey by a leading trade association reveals that the number of businesses paying interest only on their debts has nearly doubled in 1 year alone. Last year, 20,000 businesses said they'd be unable to repay their debts if there were to be a small increase in interest rates. Aaron Graves and Max Caraher are High Court enforcement agents. Aaron, a former soldier, served in Afghanistan before retraining in enforcement 6 years ago. And former prison officer Max has been enforcing High Court writs up and down the country for over a year.
Did you know that being a bailiff or an enforcement agent is one of the oldest professions in the world?
It's the second oldest profession.
Today, they're on their way to recover £1,800 owed by a car dealership, New Peterborough Auto. But what they hoped would be a routine job is about to turn into a living nightmare. Max and Aaron have arrived without a film crew. But luckily, Aaron's security body cam can record one of the most shocking and unforgettable cases the agents have ever encountered.
How can I help? We're here with a High Court writ. Right. We need to speak to somebody about that. I know you guys
He's just actually gone out.
Oh, has he?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you get him on the phone?
Yeah. Phone for me.
He's going to be driving at the minute.
As the writ is against a company and not an individual, the agents are able to enforce it without the owner being present.
There's an outstanding balance that's owed that we need to collect on.
Yeah.
That hasn't been paid. We're collecting money. At this moment in time, it is £1,831.65.
1,800 quid?
Yeah.
Can't be.
Yeah. Are you in a position to make that payment?
I'm not, no.
You're not. Okay.
No.
No chance you can get that gentleman on the phone. There is no chance. Okay.
As the man refuses to get the owner on the phone, Max has no choice but to seize goods to offset the debt.
We're escalating the case to the removal stage. We are going to be removing goods for sale at public auction.
What, today?
Yeah.
My first instinct when dealing with him was he was hiding something. I knew he was up to something. It was just a matter of waiting to find out what he was up to.
The agents now start looking for assets they can take. Aaron spots some valuable equipment in the garage. The tools are a lot less expensive to remove than vehicles.
There's a brand new snap-on tool chest in there.
But the agents' actions haven't gone unnoticed.
Why didn't you just take 3 vehicles?
What vehicles do you have, mate?
How many vehicles are
I'm
there?
not going to take you swearing at me, okay? I'm
Calm
speaking
down,
to you
mate,
reasonably.
come
If you want to swear at me, I won't.
I'm not swearing
okay?
at you. Listen, I'm
What?
getting very agitated with your behaviour. I've had
Okay.
High Court agents here before.
Okay.
And
They don't
I've
know
dealt
what
with
to
them
do, mate.
properly. Yeah. Whenever I've told them to take vehicles, they've taken vehicles.
Plenty of here. I know how much all this stuff costs.
Why don't you just remove 3 vehicles? Call a truck down.
3
remove
vehicles more expensive, to be honest, than one big van.
Is it?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Mate, is there no way you've got the means to pay this at all?
I haven't, no. If I did, you think I'd not just pay it off?
When we began making an inventory of goods, the atmosphere changed. There was almost poison in the atmosphere.
With the man still refusing to cooperate, the agents continue to make a list of assets to take. But he's still not backing down.
That's been seized, mate, so don't move that.
I'm using it.
Yeah, sure, but it's seized. Chaff, if you interfere, we just call
We'll
the police.
just get the police here.
They will, that's
All
it.
right.
We've got to remove it. I know how much they're worth.
Yeah, ring them.
So
You
why...
think I'm bothered? I'm using it.
I don't think you're bothered.
I'm using it. I'm trying to take the piss, mate.
For some reason, there was something that stood out about this guy. He wasn't your average car salesman. The way the situation was changing, the way his body language was changing, it just went from bad to worse.
Moving goods after they have been seized by High Court enforcement agents is a criminal offence. Aaron decides to call the police before matters get out of hand.
Good morning. I've attended an address for a company, and they're starting to move goods around that we're trying to seize. The gentleman's becoming quite aggressive, starting to swear at us and stuff like that. Thanks very much. Cheers, thank you, bye-bye.
The police are on their way. Aaron and Max continue to make their inventory, but the man is getting even more agitated.
Yeah, so why didn't you do all this shit when the police is here then?
We're doing it now.
Why is that?
Why do we need to stop?
I want you to start when the police is here.
It's not going to happen, we've got a rig.
These machines are worth 7-8 grand. You're trying to take the piss, mate. Well, I'm going to lock this shutter up anyway, so it's...
Then you'll be arrested for false imprisonment, and then we're allowed to smash our way out.
That's it, yeah, that's fine.
It's human nature to be scared when threats of violence are made. It's a dark garage, I haven't been there before. There's tools, knives, all over the shop. We're in a pretty remote area, and all these factors are playing on my mind.
With the man now trying to shut the agents inside the garage, they must act fast. While Max keeps the shutters open, Aaron moves their van to stop potential assets from being driven away. But then Max believes he's heard the man threatening to get a weapon.
Why do you need him?
I'll find out.
Yeah. Where's the rep? Police, please. The gentleman's now gone to get a weapon. He's tried to lock my colleague in a... like he's trying to shut the shutter down on my friend, my colleague. The situation's getting quite bad. So we need urgent police assistance, please.
But while Aaron is on the phone to the police, the man walks back into the garage.
Yeah. No, obviously we're in a car garage, so it could be anything.
What's the matter, boy? Huh?
Yeah, he has.
No!
Fuck! He's just let off an explosive! Fucking hell! He's got a gun, I think! Fucking hell! Fuck! 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 Mate! Get out! Fucking hell! Fuck! I don't know.
Mate, there's firearm.
He's got a firearm. Please, please hurry up, please.
Fucking hell, stop!
Fucking hell, please hurry up, please.
High Court enforcement agents Aaron Graves and Max Caraher were in Peterborough to collect a debt of £1,800 from a car dealership.
Mate, is there no way you've got the means to pay this at all?
I haven't, no. If I did, you think I'd fucking not just pay it off?
The man they met wouldn't cooperate.
That's been seized, mate, so don't move that.
I'm using it.
And as the agents started making an inventory of assets,
Yeah, so why didn't you do all this shit when the police is here then? I'm gonna lock this shutter up.
the case took a dramatic turn.
What's the matter, boy?
No!
Fucking hell!
Fuck! He's just let off an explosive! Fucking hell!
Whatever it was, it sounded like a gunshot to me.
Max! Get up!
It was there to scare us, and it certainly did. I see Aaron quickly moving away, and he's screaming to me, move, trying to get the police down. Everything's going absolutely crazy.
Fucking hell! Fuck! Please hurry up, please.
It was absolutely terrifying. I was fearing that he was going to come and attack us. My vehicle was blocked in, so I wasn't able to get that out. You can't prepare yourself for that sort of situation.
The agents don't know for sure what the explosion was, but until the police arrive, all they can do is try and keep safe.
Eyes open, mate, because they might go over the field or try and come closer.
Yeah.
If they do, obviously fuck off over there, yeah?
Yeah. I mean, there ain't much cover over there. There ain't much cover anywhere.
They're all going now. He's coming, he's walking out the front. Yeah. You're going to get shot if they don't hurry up.
Do you know how far they are? Mate, I feel sick.
Waiting for the police just felt like a lifetime. It really did feel like it was dragging, and no matter how much you beg them, they can't get there any quicker.
10 minutes after the explosion, an armed response unit arrives.
Like, mate, explosion from when we were inside, we had to bug out.
Do you see a firearm in his hand?
I didn't see a firearm, no, I just see a massive flash.
You alright?
Well, mate, it brought back Afghan, that did.
Aaron's a big chap, he's an ex-gunner in the army. It really hit home for me when I saw the effect it had had on him. You expect, perhaps, that going to war you're going to get violence. You really don't expect that. Enforcing a High Court writ in a car garage in Peterborough.
While the police investigate what the explosion was, more employees arrive on site.
Sorry? Engage in conversation about that.
Thinking he got shot at because a battery pack popped off. All right.
A battery pack, was it? Christ. Is that what it was? Yeah.
It didn't sound like a battery pack to me. It was very loud. I understand that violence can be sometimes part of the job, but it's hard. It really is hard to deal with. The whole situation was just terrible.
With the garage now a suspected crime scene, the agents have no choice but to abandon the case. For now.
In order to not escalate the situation, we'll just leave when he's done with a statement. In certain jobs, confrontation is a huge part of your day. We've had hot tea thrown at us, we've been pushed around, we've been punched, but this was a first for me.
After waiting for the police to finish their investigation, the agents finally have the chance to go back. And this time, Paul Bohill and Steve Pinner are on their way to the scene of Aaron and Max's nightmare.
We're in the countryside here, aren't we?
Well, it's fenland, isn't it?
Yeah.
This actually is the edge of the fens.
The police couldn't find any firearms on the site, and the man suspected of letting a gun off was released without charge. But the debt remains unpaid, and Paul and Steve have been sent to settle the case for good.
If there is an issue, we'll deal with the issue as well. There's not a lot else we can do.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, and you're almost there, we're living on borrowed time anyway.
Because of what Max and Aaron encountered, this time the agents have the police on standby.
I would guess this is it.
Can we drive in?
Yeah.
Peterborough Auto Sales and Repair.
Hello? Hello there. We're High Court enforcement agents, and we have a writ to serve here today. Against New Peterborough Auto Limited.
They're finished. Then this is no longer here.
So who are these?
These are Star cars. This is completely different. They moved.
How long ago?
A couple of weeks, month max. A couple of weeks. They're done.
Interesting.
The man isn't the same person who was arrested during Max and Aaron's visit, but he did arrive on site after the explosion.
Thinking he got shot at because the battery pack popped off. Horrible.
Paul and Steve aren't aware of this, but they are suspicious about the man's claims that the garage is under new ownership.
Okay. You say this changed over a couple of weeks ago.
This is under Star Auto now.
If we take it like step by step, is the writers for these premises, unless we've shown absolute proof, new lease, new VAT return, new insurance and so on.
I don't know where it is because my brother's out at the minute.
Okay.
Unable to supply the agents with the documents requested, the man calls his brother, who he says is the owner of Star Auto.
Yeah, what's it called? The High Court's here. What's it called? Where's that paper to show that we've changed new company? Where about?
While the man is on the phone, Steve spots a document on the desk.
Save you looking for all that. You've got a piece of paper here. New Peterborough Autos, Kingsdale, Whittlesey, dated the 28th of October, 16.
Yeah, obviously old letters are still going to come here.
8th of October 16. It's only a week or two ago. Detective work is part of the job as well. You need to find the facts. They're saying that this isn't the case, that isn't the case. Ask them to prove it. And then you're running around picking up pieces of paper, looking at this, and it's blowing their story out of the water.
The recent invoice indicates New Peterborough Auto is still trading at the address. So Paul gets on the phone to the man's brother.
Hello? Yes, my name is Paul Bowhill. Unless we see a bill of sale that's transferred all of the assets on this site, including the lease and everything to go with it, and the transfer... Just get somebody down here and show us and we'll go on our way happy. I'm 72 years of age and I've been doing this job for 35 years and I've heard this story, heaven only knows how many times, and I'm not prepared to accept that this is a completely new company. So either we go away from here happily with £1,831.65, or we'll take one or two vehicles, because by then the cost will have increased. I'll go out and we'll call recovery vehicles.
Okay, fine.
With the man's brother not cooperating, Paul steps outside to start another new inventory of assets.
Sorry?
What's going on now then?
I'm just having a look around, see what we can cover the debt with.
Yeah, but obviously that debt's with the old company, not with me, so I'm not going to allow anyone to take my goods.
The only way you can stop this happening is to produce a bill of sale to show that all these vehicles were sold out by the company we're looking for to the new company.
I haven't got them papers here handy. £1,500 bill, fuck all to do with myself or this company, and you're trying to tell me you're trying to take 12 grand worth of goods? That makes no sense, mate. It's bullshit. All them people you're skanking and robbing.
With the man still insisting the debtor company is no longer trading, Steve changes tactic. He finds New Peterborough Auto's website and calls their number.
Hello?
The man answers.
Hi there, is that New Peterborough Autos? You had a Mini in there last week. Is it still there? You still got it? Can I come down and see it? Okay, thank you.
Steve has blown the man's cover.
So, let's just cut to the chase. Let's just pay the bill and we can go happily on our way. Save all the messing about. What do you want to do?
All I can say is, well done for trying, but it's not going to work.
Nothing.
Everything we've looked at has got New Peterborough Autos on it and trading. Phone calls just been made, answered, New Peterborough Autos.
They're even the for sale signs of New Peterborough Autos.
I can't believe you're making this sort of fuss and prepared to risk the like the
For 2 grand.
upset for 2 grand.
Nothing to do with
Okay.
me.
Don't talk to me as if I'm a blooming first timer. When we go into a situation where people are giving excuses that companies should change names and so on and so on, I suppose my own personal view of this is how dare you underestimate our intelligence, because they're just pulling the same old explanations, the same old well-tried and tested systems, but they may not have come up against people who really know the answers.
The agents have now been at the site for over an hour. And with the man still refusing to take responsibility for the debt, Paul and Steve have no other option but to start seizing assets, escalating the debt to over £3,300.
What are we going to do? The Audi and the Mini?
The Audi and the Mini. And both are free of finance.
Because of storage and auction fees, the agents have to remove 2 cars to cover the amount owed.
Hi, John. There's a little bit of resistance. They're not going to pay, so I need 2 lorries with lifting capabilities. OK, thank you very much. Cheers. If anything changes, I'll call you.
But with the recovery vehicles on their way, the man becomes increasingly hostile.
What happened the last time these bailiffs come down?
No idea.
The armed response was called down here.
Really?
Yeah, there was a young chap in there and he's let off a firearm at one of the bailiffs, and they've shot out and gone up the road and rang the armed response, and then they've come down and they didn't find nothing.
So did he fire at him?
I think he did. I don't know.
No,
I'm not really
dear.
sure.
Well, I'm glad he ain't here today. I don't know whether that was to try and intimidate us. Maybe by him mentioning it, maybe he thought that we might back down. I mean, at the end of the day, it has no effect on us.
45 minutes later, the recovery vehicles arrive.
Is there recovery trucks?
Yeah, ASP. That's the kiddie.
And the team start loading the cars.
We can take this one. That's automatic. The Audi.
The Audi, yeah.
OK, that's automatic. And the Mini.
We came away, the results had been achieved. We went away with 2 vehicles, the debt would be paid, and there had been no blood spilt. There was, to some extent, a feeling of relief that it hadn't gone horribly wrong when it could have done. And if we were to be set with the same situation again, we would deal with it in exactly the same way.
For what was a potentially dangerous job, Steve and Paul have succeeded in enforcing the writ unscathed.
Sorry we met like this.
You take care.
All right? You take care. Bye for now. No, I take that in the nicest possible way. Not in this place.
Against all odds, Paul and Steve secured the results they needed. But in Matt and Ian's next case...
Please don't tell me to calm down, because all I've done is cry from one end to the other.
A son's debt
21-year-old that thinks he knows everything.
results in a family crisis.
It's alright him saying take goods, but they're not as good as ours.
A leading consumer charity reports a dramatic rise in the number of people seeking help about parking fines. Research has shown the average private parking charge is £83. It's estimated that 20% of drivers get a penalty charge notice every year. Belper, Derbyshire. High Court enforcement agent Matt Highway and his colleague Ian Taylor have a writ to collect over £1,500 owed by David Gray in unpaid parking fines.
Right then, mate, what we got next?
David Gray.
The singer?
Hopefully, mate.
Don't think he lives in Derby, does he? He's just up here a bit on the left, I think, by the looks of it. What you got there? No vehicle.
If Mr. Gray can't or won't pay, the agents have the right to seize any of his assets to cover the debt.
Is that a dog? Yeah. Set the dog. Hello, sir. Good morning. How are you?
Yeah,
Could I speak to David Gray, please?
He's not here at the moment.
He's not.
Well, he doesn't actually live here anymore. I think he's at work now.
Right. My name's Mr. Highway. I'm a High Court enforcement agent.
Yeah.
You give him a call, I'll explain it all to him.
There's high enforcement agents here. Alright, you coming up now? Yeah, bye.
On his way, yeah?
Yeah.
Great stuff. So is this your house, sir?
No, well, not mine. It's my mum's house.
It's your mum's house?
Yeah, my mum and dad split up
Right.
years ago.
Mr. Gray's son claims that his father no longer lives there. But Mr. Gray is still listed on the electoral roll at the address, so the agents have the right to stay and investigate further.
When we attend a property, we don't know anything about the debt or who the defendant is. A lot of times it can open up a whole story. The brother can get involved, the sister, the mother, the father. There's nothing worse than the money to drive, issues within a family situation.
10 minutes later, Mr. Gray arrives at the address.
Hello, Mr. Gray. Hello, sir. I'm here with a High Court writ. There's an outstanding balance of £1,649.99.
What vehicle was that again?
I have no idea. I can call and get more details about it if you like, if you really don't know anything about it.
Yeah,
I can, yeah.
Mr. Gray doesn't appear to know about the parking fines, so Matt calls the office to find out more information.
Gentleman's telling me he knows nothing about this. Can we get a little bit of background on it?
Yes, it's Foxtrot Papa 13.
I know
Is
that.
it yours?
No.
Ah.
Son.
Registered,
What was my son?
registered to you.
Yeah, I signed for it.
There you go.
I signed for it on finance for him, his first. Well, newish girl.
Okay, lovely. Penny's dropped now, I think.
It turns out that the parking fines are against a car registered to Mr. Gray, but actually being used by his elder son, Josh.
It sounds as though he's not paid his fines. Unfortunately, it's come back to you, sir.
There's any way I could pay so much, I haven't got much money at the moment.
It isn't, sir, unfortunately, no. It's a High Court writ.
I'll have to bring my wife.
Make whatever phone calls you need to make.
Yeah, I'll see if I can get in touch with her.
More and more nowadays, the bank of mum and dad is massively important. Mums and dads are bailing children out of their issues all the time. They're often vehicle related. It's a minefield to get into because, what you're doing out of the best interests of your child, but it's not necessarily going to end up very well.
Hello? Yeah, hang on a minute, I'll call him.
Minutes later, Mr. Gray's ex-wife, Mel, is on the phone.
Hello?
Hello?
Hello there, it's Mr. Highway, High Court enforcement agent. How can I help?
Right, I'm on my way home at the minute.
Okay.
My mate says she can give me probably a couple of hundred, but she'll have to go to the bank.
Right.
But I can't get up £1,000. I'm earning minimum wage myself. I can give you what's in my bank, but that's all about it, and I don't give a no until I've had a look.
Okay, but the balance we're here for is 1,649.99.
And that's just from them parking things. Which car is it?
It's a Vauxhall Corsa, is it?
Oh, they're
FP.
just fucking shit heap. Yeah, fucking stressed out.
If you want to make your way home, and then we'll see what we can do when you get here, yeah?
Right.
Probably the best option. All right, see you soon.
Yeah, bye.
She's not happy at all, is she?
No. Hello?
But then, Mr. Gray's son, Josh, calls to speak to Matt.
Hi, Josh. Matthew Highway, High Court enforcement agent.
How much has got to be paid today? Because I don't get paid until tomorrow.
As it stands, it's £1,649.99.
You'll probably just have to take goods home.
No problem. Okay, I'll pass you back to Dad then.
Alright, bye.
Doesn't seem that bothered, to be honest, does it?
It's all right, him saying take goods, but they're not as good as ours.
Well, there's lots of other things to think about in your youth than who you owe money to. A lot of the time, youth hides behind the fact that they know they've got mum and dad there. They know that if push comes to shove, mum or dad will solve it for them.
With his son not taking any responsibility for the debt, Mr. Gray decides to see if his father will help him out.
Just tell my wife when she gets hurt. I've just looked to my dad's.
Yeah.
Just then, Mr. Gray's ex-wife Mel arrives home.
Hi, madam. Is it Mel?
Are you coming in?
Yeah, don't shut the door.
Please don't tell me to calm down, because all I've done is cry from one end to the other. I've got your money.
Mel has managed to raise payment in full.
I've had to try and go to family and friends to go and get it.
All right. So we're going to sort it then, okay?
It wouldn't be so bad if it was. I can't even drive. I'm not going to go at you because I'm paying you because the money's got to be paid.
Yeah, I know.
But if I did it myself, I can understand.
Yes, yeah. No, I mean,
I've got 2 knobheads.
The writ is
belong to me, unfortunately. Fucking son of me, fucking ex-husband.
Yeah, I mean the
fucking car shit. I'm absolutely livid. I really don't need this shit. This is the thing about Josh. He's a 21-year-old that thinks he knows everything and doesn't.
Do you want me to count or?
Yeah. Please, because I'm shaking. I'm so angry.
All right. Sorted.
But then Mel receives a text from her son Josh.
He's just messaged me saying I'm getting the money together, give me 30 minutes, but I'm going to let him, I'm not going to tell him I've got it, because I want him to struggle to get the money together like I have.
So you should...
You know, he earns £4,000 a month.
Well, they've just lost some of it, haven't they?
Minimum wage each week. I've got a 3-bedroomed house, a son that's at college, and I still manage to pay my bills.
What does he do?
He's a car salesman.
There's your receipt. Thank you.
Over an hour after they first arrived, Matt and Ian finally collect the £1,650 they came for.
Wouldn't want to be either the son or the husband when
they're going to get it out there big style.
Yeah.
Nearly 20,000 county court judgments against businesses were issued in England and Wales over the third quarter of 2016. The average value of a CCJ against businesses rose by 17% in 1 year alone and now exceeds £3,500. High Court enforcement agents Max Caraher and Paul Bohill are in North London with a writ to recover just over £2,000 from a property company.
We're off to see Residential Freeholds Limited in Hendon. We're looking to collect £2,120.51. Just parking down one of the side streets.
The debt is for costs arising out of a long-running dispute with the claimant.
Sentinel Square, here we go.
And Residential Freeholds Limited must pay the £2,000 in full today.
3 and 4 there. What are you looking for? 5? 5 is it?
It's this one.
The agents have found the address, but the door appears to be locked.
Hello, here for Residential Freeholds.
Never heard of it.
No problem. We're High Court enforcement agents. Have you got a copy of either your rates or anything to show that residential freeholds aren't here?
No one here that can help you. I'm just a property manager.
Okay, we need to see some documentation just to show that the company we're after isn't operating from here.
I don't have that information.
You must have some paperwork showing what business operates from here.
I can show you a letterhead. That's about as far as it goes.
Okay, yeah, that's a good start, sir. If you could show us that, that would be great. That's incredibly suspicious.
No, don't have that either, actually.
You don't have that either?
Come back tomorrow and someone can help you. I can't help you.
When somebody doesn't want to come to the door and answer us, then that's really a point in our favour, because it's telling me that they've got something to hide. If they didn't have anything to hide, they'd let us in the property.
The man claims he hasn't heard of the company, Residential Freeholds Limited, named on the writ. But he hasn't shown the agents any proof that the debtor company no longer trades from the address. Max and Paul need to investigate further. But first, they've got to get in.
We're going to have to make forced entry if he doesn't want to play ball.
Just a word of advice here.
Business premises.
Business premises. We have the right to force entry if we need to.
What do you mean? How can I help you? How can I physically help you? I'm about 5 seconds before the police.
Okay, I'm not about 5 seconds from getting a locksmith here. Okay,
that's fine. You call the police then.
I can't help you.
We have a writ which entitles us to break into the property, and you're being evasive.
I'm not, sir. I don't know anything about it. I'm being truthfully honest with you.
So we're asking you just quite a simple question. What is the name of the company which operates from these premises?
Moorland Estate Management. That's the person I work for. I'm happy to show you a contract.
Okay. Would you like to show us that?
Yeah, for sure, definitely.
The man claims to be Mr. Emmanuel, working for Moorland Estates Management, based at this property. But with the man's growing agitation, the agents are suspicious that Residential Freeholds Limited also still trades from the premises.
Okay, you're going to have to let us... Look, we're going to come in one way or the other, okay?
I think you're being evasive. You just are. You're being so excitable and evasive.
Either way, I'm going to be having this chat with you inside your property.
People do get into an emotional state over visits like this, but some of the emotional reactions to us are really over the top. It immediately raises your suspicions that they're up to something, they're trying to avoid the consequences of meeting and settling the debt.
The agents have been outside the office for nearly 10 minutes. Suddenly, inside, the atmosphere takes a turn for the worse.
Lawrence, that's him.
In the heat of the moment, Mr. Emmanuel has inadvertently let his guard down.
He said, call Lawrence, Company's House. The registered director of Residential Freeholds Limited is Lawrence Calvin Freilich. That will possibly explain why this chap is behaving like this.
It's clear that despite his earlier claims never to have heard of Residential Freeholds Limited, Mr. Emmanuel does know its director, Lawrence Freilich. The agents are growing more suspicious that the business is still operating from here. But without gaining access, they can't get definitive proof.
There's got to be a rear entrance.
But as Max goes off to check for another entrance, Mr. Emmanuel takes action of his own.
Oh dear. He just put the shutter down.
With the man determined to keep the agents out, will Paul and Max ever get the £2,000 they came for? Max and Paul were in Hendon, North London, trying to recover a £2,000 debt owed by a property company.
Oh. Hello, here for Residential Freeholds.
The man they met refused to cooperate.
Come back tomorrow when someone can help you. I can't help you.
And took drastic action to keep the agents out.
He just put the shutter down.
What have you done? I'll leave you for 1 second.
He put the shutter down on my shoulder and he unhinged it.
It's clear that Mr. Emmanuel won't back down. The agent's only option is to call for police assistance.
Hi, we're High Court enforcement agents. There's a gentleman inside the property, he hasn't come out. He's closed the shutter onto my elderly colleague's shoulder.
Less of the elderly.
So, broken the shutter because it closed with such force.
Alright, we're on our way.
Brilliant. Thank you ever so much for that.
Thank you. Alright,
thanks. Bye.
With the police on their way, the agents try one last time to reason with Mr. Emmanuel.
Hello?
Hello.
Hiya, are you going to stop messing around and come and speak to us?
It's your choice to put your shoulder under the door.
It was your choice to close the shutter.
Oh yes, that was advice.
Yeah.
I think you'll find that I'm actually protecting my own personal safety.
Protecting your own personal safety, well, the police will come here and deal with that.
You've just broken our shutter, which is willful property now.
But we'll see about that when the police get here.
Minutes later, the police arrive.
Good afternoon, gents.
This looks like the A-team. My name is Paul Bowill.
Yeah.
We're High Court enforcement agents. We have a writ. Not for a fortune, which is a critical point. Spoke on the entry phone. The guy inside there immediately sort of had a real hissy, hysterical fit. He then dropped the shutter, and I was standing close to the door. The shutter's hit my shoulder. I stayed put, and he carried on with the shutter.
Are you injured at all?
Probably bruised is the answer to your question.
Yeah, hello there, it's the police here. Could you open the door and let me come and speak to you?
As Mr. Emmanuel unlocks the door for the police, Max seizes his opportunity. But even with the police present, Mr. Emmanuel tries to obstruct him.
Sorry, you have been off. Get your hands off me, mate. Get your hands off of me now. You're obstructing an enforcement agent, all right?
No.
Listen to the police.
No, let me just stop you.
Right.
I'm wound up like there's no tomorrow because I'm so stressed out. I've never had to experience this before.
So if I could just explain to you...
And I cannot provide the required paperwork
Got it. Yeah.
to be able to actually help them.
Right.
That's my problem.
Okay. The issue is they have a writ from the High Court.
I appreciate that.
Which gives them power of entry, using force if necessary, to enter this property.
Could you just move out of the way? Okay.
With the agent's authority established, they now need to look for evidence that Residential Freeholds Limited still trades from this address.
In an organisation like this, we would expect to find, have you got a certificate of public liability
I'm sure we
insurance?
do, but I haven't got access to that.
But then, Max finds exactly what he needs.
Lawrence. Yeah, it's all to him. That's our director, Lawrence Freilich. He's the MD of Residential Freeholds. Bingo.
The documents all relate to the director of the debtor company, Lawrence Freilich.
Thank you kindly.
Now all the agents have to do is find him.
If you can get Lawrence on the phone to make payment, then that'll get this problem solved.
Unfortunately, the police are in the room, followed by the delightful gentleman and his good friend. Let me just pass you over. One second.
Hello. The company that we're looking for is Residential Freeholds Limited, which, according to Companies House, you are a director of.
You go on the phone.
The amount that we're looking for today is 2,768. Yes, absolutely. I'll just pass you over to my colleague and he'll take the details down. Wants to make a payment in full.
Excellent.
Mr. Freilich immediately offers to settle the nearly £3,000 debt in full.
Hello, sir. Are you about to make the payment?
We'll overlook the shutter incident. That can be
Can I
done.
just cover that for
No,
you a
that's
minute?
okay.
I was instructed to do so. Paul has then thrust himself under the door. I could stop him once
Okay,
it
it's
started.
a bit like...
Stop it.
Okay, let's take an amusing view of this. Somebody's shooting at me, but I didn't stand aside.
Well, you
Didn't
should
see
have
that-
done it. It's a bloody bullet.
Okay. Right.
Thank you very much. Cheers. Bye.
Done?
All done here.
The case is resolved peacefully.
Thank you for your time.
And Paul is even prepared to help fix the broken shutter.
Drop it down slightly. Okay, now up. Well, thank you for your attendance. You've made all the difference.
Thank you very much. I do appreciate it.
Absolute classic. But I do actually think that kid, the office manager, is genuinely, he had a total panic attack. Luckily, the shutter dropped back in though.
I left my colleague unattended for only a minute for a split second. And when I came back, it looked like a tornado had hit the shop front. Great work on that, Paul. Great work. Well done, sir.
Two families either side of the wealth divide swap lives, homes and more. The new series of Rich House, Poor House continues tomorrow at 9. And isn't it better that some things are left unsaid? Well, not for everyone. Daisy decides to dig for answers next in new One Night with My Ex.